This is an article that came out May 7th, 2018 from straight.com. Mothers across North America unite for hashtag Listen to Mom campaign calling for an end to the war on drugs. Okay. A group of mothers working together across Canada, the United States, and Mexico to change how all three nations respond to addiction. Listen to Mom is the name of their campaign they've launched ahead of Mother's Day, which is this Sunday, May 13th. Mothers are losing children to mass incarceration, drug war violence, and accidental overdose across borders due to the failed global war on drugs, reads a media release announcing the initiative. We are urging people to listen to our stories and to understand the need for a compassionate and tolerant approach to drug use and substance use disorder. Canadians are represented in the campaign by Moms Stop the Harm, which has members in Vancouver and across British Columbia and the country. In the United States, they're working with Moms United to end the war on drugs. And in Mexico, they've partnered with Red de Enlace Nacional. In honor of Mother's Day, we propose 8 actions that will produce positive outcomes in saving the lives and liberties of our children. The release continues. Kathy Wagner is a member of Moms Stop the Harm Vancouver chapter. In a phone interview, she recounted how she connected with the group after her son, Tristan Croker, died last August after he ingested cocaine that was adulterated with the synthetic opioid fentanyl. Wagner told The Straight the first thing that all three groups are asking for is for the end to the war on drugs. She said that means the government of Canada, the United States, and Mexico must drop criminal penalties for personal possession of illicit narcotics. You see how they're just targeting narcotics? But in the meantime, I want you to never forget Black men and women in America are still going to jail for marijuana possession. And you notice how they always conveniently leave marijuana out, but they want you to focus on keeping their kids out of jail for narcotics, which is a much more powerful drug than marijuana. Unbelievable. The thing with criminalization is that it adds so much additional trauma, Wagner said. You know what? Any drug arrest adds trauma, not just your kids. Oh my God, these people they're the most selfish, self-centered people walking the earth. Struggling with an addiction is a traumatic thing in and of itself. It's often rooted in trauma before that. But even if it isn't, just experiencing that lifestyle can be quite traumatic. And then prison and being criminalized for it, it only adds to that. Well, how do you think the crack addicts felt? Okay, none of the people that are trying to keep these folks out of jail gave a damn during the crack addiction. In fact, they were cheering on the police putting Black people in jail for crack addiction. Remember, they opened up more jails, and 3 strikes you're out, and mass incarceration, and they just stepped it up. But now we should back off of putting these people in jail. And oh my God, we just got to handle this totally different. We know why you're handling it different. But see, when you do dirty, underhanded things to other people, it's going to always come in your backyard. to visit you. See, you always think it won't. This out of control addiction that you're experiencing is dead on proof. See, when you try to ridicule other people for addiction, it comes back and visit you, and you just never thought it was going to happen. But we have seen this all throughout history. Everything you try to put on Black people that's negative always comes back to visit you somewhere along the line. So it never fails. She argued that only after drugs are decriminalized can addiction truly be treated as a health issue. If we were paying attention to our kids and paying attention to the people who are struggling and treating them with the compassion that they deserve based on the fact that addiction is a mental health issue rather than a criminal issue. Well, that's because the face of addiction is primarily white. So now it's not a criminal issue now, suddenly. Then we'd actually solve some of their problems rather than making them worse, which is all the criminalization does, Wagner said. Last year, there were 1,446 illicit drug overdose deaths in British Columbia, up from 993 in 2016 and 520 the year before that. In the United States, there were an estimate of 64,000 fatal drug overdose deaths in 2016. That's only based on 22 states, y'all, up from 52,000 in 2015. So based on 22 states, that's what those figures are. So I would say it's probably double and maybe even triple that amount. In addition to cessation of the war on drugs, the three groups are asking that governments improve coordination on service provisions across their local, state, and federal levels, and asking that citizens reject tough love and the war on drugs, which is a war on our loved ones. Wow, I guess Black people don't have loved ones that we care about. No, only they have that. We don't have that. Unbelievable. No, don't jail our kids. Our kids, no, don't look at it as a criminal. I know they're using illegal drugs. I know they're stealing and committing crimes because of the drugs, but no, don't put them in jail. Have compassion. Say no to the war on drugs. Say no to mass incarceration for our kids. Say no to criminalizing. It's a public health issue. It's trauma. If you do that to them, it's trauma. Unbelievable. The complete list of partnerships, 8 calls to action, is available at the Listen to Mom campaign site. Leslie McBain is a Mom Stop the Harm member based on Pander Island and a family engagement lead for the British Columbia Center on Substance Use. In an interview, she recounted how she first connected with Moms United to end the war on drugs and the Mexican group. So they had a meeting apparently in New York City in April 2016. We thought this makes sense because we're doing the same thing on opposite sides of the border, McBain said. We've realized that this collaboration makes us stronger. Wow. See, ladies and gentlemen, all it takes is for the face of drug addiction to change. And all of a sudden, the fact that it's a criminal act that also changes. We know how the game works. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell. And if you have an Android device, please get my app. Peace, family.